What's going on, 49er Faithful, 49er Fan, 49er Gang? This is your boy Niner Gang Podcast back in the building. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything for San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it. Hey, Mom. What's going on? Shout out Mariah. Shout out Matt. I ain't seen you in a minute, Matt. Hopefully life has been good for you, brother. Raphael 562 Niners in the building. Shout out to Mariah. Um, so, man, I had to do this video. What's going on, Charles 82nd? I had to do this video because I'm getting a little tired of some things that are happening in our organization, and it really pisses me off that this continues and no one cares. So, what's going on, Sizzle? So, the disrespect to Trey Lance, man. This has been continuous since his kid's been in the league. And it hurts my heart. Oh, don't worry, Charles. That is coming. Believe me. Hurts my heart that this young man has to endure this kind of scrutiny. Especially in the age that we live in, today's times, mental health is a really big thing. And you've got to be able to maintain it as well as you can because these kids don't come from where we came from. You know, we old school people. But before I continue, I'm going to bring in my man, my brother from another mother. You know what I'm saying? He has his own channel. He's going to let you know. It's my dog Twin in the building. What's good with you, Twin?
Man, what it do? How y'all doing tonight?
All right. Look, we got the same mic. Same exact shit.
For sure. Big ups to Tony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what I was just saying is this, you know, these kids don't come from the era that we come from. They're not cut from that same type of cloth. See, hypothetically speaking, back in the day, Twin gonna say something crazy about me. I'm not gonna run in the house and cry. I'm gonna say something crazy about him. And this is gonna continue. It's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, you know what's not gonna happen? I'm not gonna not be friends with Twin because he said that. We just had a little moment, we were snapping on each other. Life moves on. That's the kind of cloth that we are cut from.
Take it to the grass, man.
You feel me? We gonna shoot the fair one. Don't matter who come out as the victor. We still boys at the end of the day.
Go get some hot pockets and keep it moving.
Facts. So for me, ever since the kids come in the league, it's been consistent scrutiny, and I just don't understand why. And for some reason, this year it's just jumped to a whole other level. So I'm gonna save one of these jackasses for the end. But I'm gonna start off with Speak. Speak for yourself. Shout out Shady McCoy, Joy Taylor, Acho, the whole crew. Even though I only fuck with Joy Taylor mostly because Shady McCoy spends 90% of his time riding the Eagles' dick, and Acho says some of the most off-the-wall, ignorant shit I've ever heard in my life. But before I get into putting that on, how you feel about this situation right now?
Man, honestly, we old school. I saw the writing on the wall. We saw the writing on the wall a couple of years ago, man. I'm a 49er fan, but I'm a fan of football first and foremost. And one thing you notice with this Kyle Shanahan regime is we still playing the quarterback situation in like year 7. Especially in a really, really we got a really good team too. And I've always thought when you have more than one quarterback, you have none. Or when you have 3 quarterbacks, man, you definitely have 0. And unfortunately, our franchise decided to do it again. And this time, it's not like we got the Joe Montanas and the Steve Youngs. And I know a lot of people like to make that correlation between what we got going on with Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, or Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, or Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, however way you want to take it. Joe Montana was a 2-time Super Bowl champion before Steve Young got there. 2-time. And I don't like when people sit there and try to make that type of comparison. I don't think we give those people enough respect. We don't give Bill Walsh enough respect or Joe Montana and what he did as a quarterback enough respect. We comparing goats to saplings. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean they're not going to grow up to be something. But for right now, we gotta lower this measuring stick as if, a Joe Montana, Steve Young, as if that's like a random, not random, but like a current occurrence, like it happens all the time, and it's not. Like Joe Montana, Steve Young was an anomaly. You see what I'm saying? And so to me, that goes to the top. It goes to the it goes to the coach. It goes to John Lynch and that staff. Man, we started these things so wrong, and we're seeing the aftermath grow even today. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we have so much conflict, like so much, like, I mean, we got fights, we got arguing, man, we got so much of this. It shouldn't be this way. I remember this guy by the name of Greg Popovich, he's a coach of the Spurs, says this: my job as the coach is to keep the outside noise as quiet as possible. I need you guys to focus on football and football only. I don't need anything extra inside of this organization because it's hard enough to play the sport that you play. It's hard enough. And so anything that I can eliminate as a coach, I'm going to cut it out. And I want you guys to do it as well as they would. As somebody who's employed by my owner, Mr. York, I need y'all to be on y'all P's and Q's. But coach, you got to be on yours too, my guy. We can't treat the most prized possession in sports, not in basketball or in soccer, cricket, lacrosse, hockey, polo, whatever the case you want. Like, we talking about football, and we sit here and we playing topsy-turvy with it all the time. And I'm like, this is going to happen. And I know a lot of people say, man, I'm tired of us always talking about the quarterback. I'm tired of us. Bro, that's Kyle. That's John Lynch. You could have deaded this offseason. Again, we said this once before. If Brock is your guy, my guy, say Brock is your starter. Brock is our quarterback in May, June, July. Hey, Trey Lance could be our second quarterback, Darnold our third. Put it out there in the atmosphere, and let's go on. To me, I think you would have wanted to trade one of those other guys just because of the friction that the fan base has had. You need to let one of them go. But hey, nobody ain't gonna listen to me. But you're going to see this issue throughout our whole ride of this year. And I don't think, like, that's unfortunate because we got a really good team. What you need to do as a coach to cut this mess down. And the national media, man, the way that they cover our team is ridiculous. You know, it feels like we're the Cowboys of the West. And that ain't cool. I don't like that either, man. I don't even like being mentioned with the Cowboys unless we talk about the 5 rings. Even then, I don't like being mentioning with them because we still stuck on 5. Because, I mean, that make it even worse. You see what I'm saying? And so we definitely got to do something about this, man. I think it's the ownership. It's not on John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan. This has nothing to do with Brock Purdy, Trey Lance. It's not none of their faults. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put themselves in this position. The adults in the room should have been acting like adults and not play with this position like they're running backs. And I know I feel like a little long-winded, but, man, that's just my ideal on the situation, man. This shouldn't even be this way tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I do. I'm the shorter one, so I'm gonna have to take the Pac. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure Twin is tall. I'm only 5'6", so I gotta take Pac.
I'm not that.
Yeah. Tall. So see, yeah, he got the tall. He got the tall, slim. I got the short but crazy. What's going on, Flo? Right? So here's my number one thing. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and we'll go through it.
Is it old boy? Is it coming on the screen, my guy?
Yeah.
No. That old boy Lombardi.
So that's TJ Houshmandzadeh talking about it. But I'm going to skip through because I want to get to Shady with his disrespectful ass.
Man, Shady, boy. That man say stuff like.
That's why I said he's such a homer that it gets annoying. Like, he doesn't even actually break down football. The dude just literally just talks out his ass whenever he gets a chance.
Hey, I can't see or hear nothing when you playing it. It's not on the screen over here. So I think that's what they said in the chat too.
Oh, you said you. Oh, yeah, I can't. Okay, give me a sec.
Yeah, we can't see it.
Okay, I'm gonna put it up here then. Where are we at? We're gonna do it this way.
So we can't see.
Shit, hold
Let us
up.
in. Share the
I
screen.
got you. I got you.
Let me in now. Let me in now. Bill Gates, Donald Trump.
The problem is this. Wow. It's really not his fault because he don't belong in the NFL. It's not his fault. The problem is this.
Wow, you say he don't belong in the league.
You just look at this. Wow. No. Especially as a starter. Like when you watch him play, he shouldn't be in his NFL as a starting quarterback. Seriously, that's honestly. And it's not his fault because I look at the teams. When I was playing, I always.
So we're gonna stop it right there. This man had the nerve to come out and openly say he doesn't belong in the league. It's not his fault. Shady, did you belong in the league? You were, if I recall, you were extremely upset when Chip Kelly moved you from the Philadelphia Eagles and basically dismantled probably one of the best teams ever assembled by Philly. But you were expendable at that moment. He didn't like you. He didn't care. He moved you. So my thing is, number one, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get real deep, and I'm just being honest. We have to support each other as black people.
Come on, man. Come on.
We must support each other as black people.
My guy, listen here. Say it again.
Why on earth would I put Twin down when he's just grinding, trying to be the next man up, do his thing? I'm not going to do that. I am not going to denigrate and destroy another black man, especially in a situation like this.
And we won't be trying to make it about race. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. We don't.
I'm not making it about race.
I don't even like saying it, but it's evident, man.
We don't, but it's evident that you are looking at 3 black men and 1 black woman, and he has the nerve to open his mouth and state this. Come on, sir. At a bare minimum, support your people. That's one of the number one problems in our community is we don't support each other. It's a very crab in the barrel mentality. I'm trying to get out, so I got to kick you down so I can get up to the top and get the fuck out.
Bro,
this is not cool.
You can criticize the 49ers or your boy Trey Lance if you want to, but man, you ain't got to sit and tell this man he don't need no job, bro.
Yeah, you basically telling him that he shouldn't even be in the NFL. And obviously, you haven't done your homework, Shady. You know why? Because Trey Lance has overcome a lot of adversity in his life. And Trey Lance has done more than enough to be deserving of a spot in the NFL. And if he wasn't that damn good and he never deserved to be here, then why did somebody go up to number 3 and pull the trigger? Nobody went up to number 3 to go get a Shady McCoy. I can tell you that.
But hey, we ain't gotta go that deep. Just keep it like you said. Just keep it a bean. Dude, if you don't believe he belongs in the NFL, for some magical reason, he was able to be a starter last year. The same guy who you praise as an offensive coordinator and / head coach, you say this guy's a genius, he's smart, he's above a lot of the offensive minds in the National Football League. Bro, if you can critique his game. My man, literally, for a person who shouldn't even be in the NFL, he won an NFL game. Yep. He has one underneath his belt as a rookie. So that was 2 years ago. So a person who's not even has the ability to actually win a football game won 2 years ago. So my guy, you got to realize that it's hard enough because we are, Dion, we act as if Patrick Mahomes, who is considered the greatest quarterback in the last 5 years, even said the plight is different.
Yeah. Whole different
like we lying if we mention something like that as if this doesn't play a part of it. You see what I'm saying? There's an extended grace for some folk. There's a multiple opportunities for some folk. And there's hey, I can find the good in you. I can find the little things that you do well, and I can magnify those things, you know. Just wait a minute. Doesn't matter the 55 other things I've seen from you in your history. I can still find the potential out of you, and we can extract that, and we can come through here, and we can cultivate it here at this team. Even though I've seen 55 opportunities if you go out there and get it. But even though somebody we only seen 3.5 opportunities, y'all telling me y'all can't keep that same energy for the boy over here.
Thank you. So think about it like this. What Twin just basically told y'all without saying the name, I'll say the name. He's talking about Sam Darnold if you don't know already. So what kills me is, yes, people do get a continual second chance. So let's talk about one of these second chance jackasses that had second chance after second chance. Mr. Dan fucking Orlovsky. You get on national television and have the nerve to say anything about a quarterback when you bounced around the league for 12 years based on your relationships. Did nobody believe in you as a franchise quarterback ever? You was on national TV, sir, telling Jimmy Garoppolo to stay out of your lane for walking out of the back of the end zone. Do you understand that your career was pathetic and trash? But you lucked out. Teams kept saying, let's give Orlovsky a little bit of a chance. But you never panned out. You never did anything in the NFL that's noteworthy. And you don't do anything now but go on TV and spew a bunch of shit that you don't necessarily know about. I'll say it like this, and shout out to my man Jason Aponte. He said it earlier. Just because you play football doesn't mean that you know everything. Because you played at the professional level does not mean that you are the perfect evaluator of talent and you are the end-all be-all. You are not God. So at the end of the day.
Hey, Dion.
Yeah.
Because some of his evaluations, he know all of these things. Well, you should be able to empathize. You should be able to be a correspondent to the individuals who didn't never play at that type of level, because you can sit here and tell people, as smart as I am, that I can come in here, guys, I can tell y'all the X's and the O's, I could tell y'all alignments, I could tell y'all what the mic got to do, what the nickel got to do. Guess what, fellas? I'm gonna let y'all know I was in the league for 12 years, and guess what, man? It's hard.
It is.
It's hard. Know how I know? Because I still, with all this information I can give y'all about what Trey Lance ain't doing right, I had the opportunity to actually play, and I still couldn't get it right. So what more? So what better encouragement can come from somebody like you? That's why I try to tell young men, like, you a mentor. If you done messed up and you ain't get it right, I can tell y'all how hard it is to overcome. So let me, hey, Trey Lance, for anybody who got your back, bro, it's me. I understand how difficult it is to process. Hey, bro, keep going. You still young in the game. I see you can do A, B, C, and D. This is when you what? You continue to speak life into this young fella, right?
Thank you. That's facts, man. That's all facts. And that's all we're saying. So, like, when people, thank you, literally, his shirt, inspire. See, what people think is I'm here and they're like, oh, you just crying about this, you're crying about that. I'm not crying about a reality, okay? I don't come on here and hit y'all with nothing but with bullshit. I hit y'all with nothing but facts. Or at least I try to give you as unbiased of an opinion as I can possibly give. So, with that being said, there's so many people that hate on Trey Lance, but we're going to move on to somebody who could have protected Trey Lance, but did not. And it's really confusing on why this didn't happen. And see, he laughing because he already knows exactly where the hell I'm going with this. So let me share my screen again. And we're going to play it.
And that Trey doesn't have the quarterback. What do you have to say about that kind of comment?
Bro, territory. I mean, it goes with it for quarterbacks. It goes with it for anybody who's a high draft pick, but especially a quarterback. You watch And that's one of the tough things, I think, for that position, but also for high draft picks. I mean, you watch receivers come in the league and they have a few drops early in camp, and there becomes a lot of pressure on them. People want to see those people take off and do it right away and have no flaws, and that's just part of it.
Anything you've had to address with him, or is he pretty good as far as the mindset, knowing what comes with the territory?
I mean, Trey is extremely smart, very socially aware. He knows how the world works, and so he does his best, which I think he does a damn good job of trying to block that out and just focus on getting better, and I think that's what he's done so far.
How do you see the back end of the wide receiver?
So, Twin, I'm gonna let you have it. I gotta blow my nose real quick, but you go ahead because I'm gonna go the fuck off. I'm going all the way the fuck off the handle here, but you go ahead and start us off.
Hey, in the words of T.O., I don't care if it's my first string, second string, or third string quarterback. That's my quarterback, bro. And at the end of the day, if the only thing I can sit here and talk about is the guy personality, when I know everyone is speaking about his game, his ability to play quarterback in the National Football League, one thing I should do is to have my boy back as a coach. Hey, man, listen here. I don't care what y'all guys say. Y'all don't see how hard this boy work behind the scenes. As a quarterback, I've seen this guy get better at A, B, C, and D. You know what I'm saying? And that's a preseason game. He may be working out some things, but this is no space for somebody to sit here and tell me that my quarterback ain't a quarterback. I didn't saw the film. I didn't see the progression. We're going to get back to work tomorrow. We're going to make sure we study the film. We want to make sure we get back in there. But one thing I know for sure is this guy's a hard worker, and he has the ability to go out there and play football. You know, this is my guy. Because not only am I a coach, most coaches are like fathers. Most coaches are like mentors. Most coaches are going to not only inspire you to be a better football player, but also going to speak to the man in you. So while somebody's out here talking about the man that he is, I'm also talking about the man in the football player that he is and that I'm molding him to be. You see what I'm saying? Like, man, listen here. I'm not going to have people out here denigrating my quarterback like that. You know, because I see the pressure that he's under. I know I picked him as a third-round draft pick. I know that the first year he was redshirt. I know that the second year he broke his freaking ankle. I know in the third year coming up, I had the audacity to get on national TV and tell people, hey, man, I got a little scared when somebody named Colin Farrell almost hit Brock Purdy in the arm that was injured. So I felt something about this individual because he could have hurt him physically and put us back. So you know what? Not only I'm going to take out the Colin Farrell and tell him, hey, Colin, you better not do that again because it's my quarterback, who at times I try to act like I don't really care who plays the position, but at the same time, boy, you better start caring. You know what I'm saying? But to sit there and keep your lips closed like that and start talking about a wide receiver, man, cut that crap out, man. Have your boys back. And I think this is what Jimmy was saying too in a way. Hey, man, I only talk to Kyle when the season starts because that's the only time he really care about you. He don't care about the man that you is. So, man, I ain't go fake the phone. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. We got to do better than that, man. I bet you one thing. Go call DeMeco Ryans right now. I bet you that first-round draft pick that boy got, Mr. C.J. Stroud, I bet you after that interception, I bet you he say, hey, yeah, he may have had a iffy preseason game, but that's my boy. I see some things in him, and we going to get this thing right. I'm not going to be a vampire and suck the darkness out the room. I'm going to speak life to that young boy. Let him know if anybody on camera go talk something about this man, it's going to be me. I'm going to talk glowing about him. I'm going to talk positive about him. I'm going to talk how he's correcting these things in practice. I'm going to tell y'all that he's putting in that work. I'm going to tell y'all he's there with that doggone MacBook Pro or that doggone
iPad or whatever.
We in film room and we doing work, man. Because this is the generation we got. We don't got the generation of old. This is a new generation. So you got to speak to these boys. Because like you said earlier, mental health is for real, man. So I got to speak life to this man when I see everybody in the organization, or everybody in the media in the Bay Area talking down about this man. Everybody writing blogs talking about this man. Everyone on the TV talking about him. At least I got to have his back, right?
Yes, sir. And Appreciate you, Matt. Go ahead and get you some rest, brother. I think I know my dog Matt's on the East Coast. So, really quickly, Shanahan deserves to take blame for the failures of this team, and it starts with Trey. He's done that kid no justice, ran him into the ground like I could end the show with just that. I literally could end the fucking show. So here's my thought on this. The number one thing is I don't like that you didn't protect your investment. You invested a lot to go get this young man. You gave up several first-round picks and picks in a few other rounds to be able to draft this young man to make him the future of your franchise. So let's just look at the timeline really quick. The first game of that first season, the young man was drafted. Who threw the touchdown? It was Trey Lance, Trish Sherfield, right? Happened. When we were getting our asses handed to us against the Green Bay Packers, couldn't score a point, 7 possessions, and we got nothing. Who gave us a shot in the arm?
Wait. We didn't score in 3 straight possessions, and everybody got doggone turned on fire.
Exactly.
We played in a regular, real game.
Yep.
Say it again. How many?
7.
Not 1, not 2,
not 3, not 4.
We're talking about Madden 2001, Mike Vick, 7.
And who gave us a shot in the arm? Trey Lance. When Jimmy had his phantom calf injury, who came in against the Seahawks and looked damn good? Trey Lance. Who went into the Arizona Cardinal game with the worst offensive game plan I've ever seen in my life from Kyle Shanahan, and still almost had us in that game to possibly go to OT? Trey Lance. Who looked bad in the first half against Houston, but then got progressively better in the second half, helped us win that game. And if we don't win that game, we're not in the playoffs, people. Who did that? Trey Lance. So, for the small sample size that we've had, the young man has done some pretty good things. Now, what I want to say is, not every quarterback out there is great, people. Twin, you remember a pretty good quarterback named Peyton Manning? He was all right. He was good. You know what happened to Peyton Manning his first fucking year? He went 4-11. He set the interception record for a rookie quarterback. Anybody say anything? Did they call him a bust? Was he destroyed in the media? Did everybody say that Peyton Manning is nothing? Get rid of him, he's trash? No. Because you know why? If they would have said anything remotely like that, Tony Dungy, being the God-fearing man that he is, would have ripped them to shreds. That's another head coach of the team that we faced week 1. Mike Tomlin does not accept any slander about any of his players from the media. He will address it right then and there, check you on it, and move on. Why on earth did you, Kyle, leave this young man out to dry? All of the investment that you took into him, all the time, supposedly giving him the reins last year, all of this means nothing? And the teammates, where the fuck is y'all at? Why did Raheem Mostert have to come out and say something and he's not even on this team? Why is that? Oh, but let's go back. There were a couple years ago when everybody jumped to a certain quarterback's defense who now is on the Raiders. Debo came out, Jaquiski Tartt came out, Jimmy Ward came out, IU. All of these people ran to Jimmy Garoppolo's defense for his mediocre quarterback play. But y'all can't come to the podium and say, hey, man, y'all need to leave Trey Lance the fuck alone. That's my teammate. No one, not a whisper on social fucking media from any of the players on this team to back that young man.
Hey, Dion. Well, now players today, we do the media, we do podcasts because we could change the narrative. Now, a lot of times these guys be out there saying stuff about us and they don't understand what we got to go through. But because of social media and the new media, we have an opportunity to get on platforms to kind of speak up for things that aren't necessarily true,
Which is a bunch of bullshit. At the end of the day, Kyle, you had the opportunity to back your quarterback. So what this does is it makes me dig deeper into my stance on Kyle Shanahan. He doesn't care for black quarterbacks. I don't believe that Kyle Shanahan ever wanted Trey Lance. I believe that he had to draft Trey Lance because they thought he was going to draft another Jimmy Garoppolo clone, and they were like, nah. Now, I've been informed. There was a guy of mine that I know on Twitter. He was in Spaces. He tells me that Mike Shanahan studied Trey Lance and said, draft this guy. Here's the problem. Mike Shanahan didn't like black quarterbacks either. He didn't care for Donovan McNabb when he had him in Washington. And when RG3 was drafted, everybody knew it was no secret that Kyle and Mike did not want him. They wanted the man they went back and got later in the 5th round in Kirk fucking Cousins. And what happened to RG3? Short stint in Washington, short stint in Baltimore, and goodbye. So what I'm trying to tell you people, and this, I am saying this, I'm not saying that it's Twins' opinion on anything. Though this is my channel, I do want to make sure I put that disclaimer out there. I didn't say Twin agrees with me. This is my take. Y'all know me. I'm rough, rugged, and raw. I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, you have a prime opportunity to show that you have some faith in this young man, that you didn't waste your time, that you didn't waste his time, but you didn't do it. Why? You are the head fucking coach. I'm telling you right now, Trey Lance is the better person than me because I would rip him a new asshole the next time I saw him face to face. I would look dead at him and tell him, man, you invested all the draft capital and why the fuck you ain't sit up there and at least, defend me? Why you ain't shut them dudes down? You gave him that old basic generic ass answer of, he basically, you basically told him, well, he's a grown man. It's his problem. No, the fuck it's not. You're the head coach. I'm going to start calling you Kyle Reed until you deliver a Super Bowl around this motherfucker. Because that's what you are. You are consistently competitive, but inconsistently successful. At the time when it matters the fucking most. 2019, what you do, take the ball out of Jimmy's hands all the way until we got to the fucking Super Bowl. And magically you expected this nigga to be able to hang with Patrick Mahomes? Fuck out of here with that shit. 2 NFC championship games. Nothing. We ain't got no ring out of you. You went with Atlanta. Nothing. So when you deliver on Lombardi, I'll start giving you some fucking respect. But until then, Kyle, you can kiss all of my ass, man. I'm tired of this shit. I'm really tired of the disrespect that this young man is enduring by the league, by his own fucking team, by the teammates, that organization. This ain't right, man. It's not right at all. Why would you draft this kid and basically tell him you're relegated to a backup spot? Why would you lie earlier on? And this goes back to what Twin made a point on earlier. Why would you lie and say there's a quarterback competition when you knew you were sold on Brock Purdy? For what? You could have said exactly like Twin said. That's my man. That's the guy we're going with. I've been saying this all along. Barring injury setback, Brock Purdy is your starter. Period, point blank. Everybody knows I've been saying that shit. I've been saying that since fucking OTAs. I never believed there was no goddamn quarterback position. Kyle don't like black quarterbacks. I didn't say he don't like black people. I said he's got a preference at quarterback, and it's Caucasian. It is what the fuck it is. You don't believe me? Why do we pass on 2 of the best black fucking quarterbacks in the goddamn league? His first year. For CJ fucking Beathard? We passed up Deshaun fucking Watson and Patrick fucking Mahomes for CJ Beathard. But no, Kyle gets a pass for that shit. It's okay. And the only reason you passed him up was for what? another Caucasian quarterback named Kirk Cousins. There is a pattern here, people. Look at the evidence. It's in your face. Don't deny it. A lot of people like to be very optimistic and well, maybe it's not that. I don't know. Let me explain something to you. Bonta Hill, 95.7 a game, went on a rant not too long ago and basically said, I'm tired of watching us sit here and fail. I want my Mahomes. I want my Brady. I want my franchise quarterback. We deserve that. And if I'm not mistaken, when you first go to a new franchise and there is not a quarterback in place that you believe in, what is the first thing you do with your first round pick when you get there? You draft a fucking quarterback. You find the guy that you are going to tie yourself to, and you figure it the fuck out. But that didn't happen. You waited on Kirk Cousins, we wound up with Jimmy Garoppolo. There are reasons that we are in this position, and it all goes back to the same person. But if I'm Trey Lance, I want out. Trade me now. No, you're not going to get the draft capital you gave up. You already know that. But let me go somewhere I can flourish, be myself, and win. And there's one place that doesn't have a quarterback right now, but they do have a offensive coordinator who used to hang around Andy Reid. And you could say that, Washington wouldn't be a problem. You know why? Because what do you have in Patrick Mahomes? A fantastic quarterback, great athleticism, ridiculously uncanny with his off-balance throws, all that shit. Where did Trey Lance go work out? With Patrick Mahomes and other elite quarterbacks. So his mechanics improved. Now, one other person I'm going to touch on real quick, and this is no disrespect to him because he does fantastic breakdowns. Shout out to JT O'Sullivan. Now, I appreciate the breakdown because the breakdown was spot on, showed me some shit from the All-22. JT O'Sullivan has a very good football mind. Here's the thing. JT O'Sullivan wasn't that damn good either. He didn't last very long. Nobody believed in him as a star quarterback or your franchise guy. So all I'm saying is until this kid gives you enough of a body of work to pass judgment, then don't. Technically, shout out to my man Terradome because, that's the bishop. Technically speaking, the Bible says we are not supposed to be judging people, but we do. There are a lot of things that we shouldn't be doing, but we still do them. But my thing is, at least be
to hell. We can judge. We just don't have the right to judge people to heaven or hell.
Exactly.
But neither here or there. Continue, my bad. I just don't want to throw that out there. We can judge, but we cannot be the judge when it comes to judge people to heaven or hell. But I digress. Continue on, my guy.
There you go. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Always good when somebody cleans it up. I appreciate it. So I'm just saying you could protect the kid, man, but y'all not. And to me, honestly, if I'm Trey Lance, I feel alienated in that locker room. The disrespect of Trey Lance is ongoing. And the fucked up thing? One player blatantly disrespected him, and a lot of people were like, oh, you're overreacting. I will go back to this. Jake Brendel. When Brock was winning games for the 49ers, Trey Lance wasn't able to play. He was injured. You know what Trey Lance did? He went out and bought the whole fucking team. I believe it was a dope-ass new sound system for the television. And you know what Jake Brendel had the nerve to say? Well, it's nice that Trey's buying us gifts, but, Brock's bringing us wins. I am petty motherfucking Pendergrass. I'd have snatched my shit back so fucking quick. Oh, you worried about me? Give me this goddamn shit. The fuck out of here. You don't get nothing. You get nothing. You don't get a Christmas gift. You don't get a birthday card. All you get is a swift kick in the ass.
But see, again, this is where I say Dion goes back to my original part of this. This affects the locker room, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, these guys are human beings. Shout out to Mississippi boy. You know what I'm saying? 601 represent. But you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, you got a locker room full of men in there.
Yes.
And they hear this stuff. They hear the narratives. They hear the things that people are saying. These guys got a cell phone, and let's keep it a buck. The cell phones are attached to 99.9% of our hips, or 100% in our hands.
We are walking GPSs, people. You don't need a chip. You don't need a chip right here in your hand.
We can see
this
as
is a walking GPS, just so you know. No matter where you go, even when you turn off that GPS location, unless you throw this motherfucker in the microwave and wrap it with tinfoil, they can still find your ass.
And so we be faking as if these players, like, they hear all of this. And not only that, we got a top 5 fan base on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. Yep. We pushing out content. Like, we pushing out content. I mean, we pushing out more content than Nick Cannon baby mamas are pushing out babies. We pushing that out. You hear me?
Facts.
We pushing it out. So there's no denying that we got content from everywhere. I don't care if it's SF Barrett, I don't care if it's Jason Abante, I don't care if it's Eric Crocker, I don't care if it's Grant Cohn, we got David Lombardi, we got Niner Game Podcast, we got CJ, we got Real Talk, man, bro, we got 94 Karat Code, we got Real Estate, bro.
We got we are out there.
Bro, listen here. You got to be Helen Keller and not hear or see what the hell we got going on out here in the digital spaces. The content is out there.
It is
got a picture or a fake dub or some on every last one of these things, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X-Man, whatever this thing want to be called from now on. Bro, we can't sit and act as if these men ain't out here listening, and alone their family members. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I like to be realistic with the generation we live in. We have to try to cut out all of the noise as much as possible. You see what I'm saying? And we can't act as if this ain't an issue, man. Again, I'm a Trey guy, but at the end of the day, Brock playing, like I said, that's cool. Go out there, play, Brock. Be successful. Do whatever it is you need to be successful.
Exactly.
At the same time, Kyle, make it easy on him. Because what you have ended up doing right now is this. The standard for Brock Purdy now would be the standard that he left with last year. The boy can't lose a game. They better go 17-0. He better be top 1 or top 2 in all those stats we put down there, whether against the blitz, his percentage against the zone, his percentage against motion, the percentage against drop coverage, the percentage against cover two, everything against cover 1, all those things, those stats right there, it's going to be pushed in his face now.
Yep.
This is the floor for Brock Purdy. That ain't the ceiling. That's the floor for Brock.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Now this boy got to go through all this expectation, all this pressure, all of this type of anxiety, because now y'all didn't see him put on the pedestal, and now you got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo because he couldn't do it. Trey Lance, he couldn't do it quick enough for y'all, so you got to get rid of him. We got this guy from the 7th-round draft pick who only $900,000. This is our guy. He's the real god doggone deal. So now he got to deal with that pressure. And every defensive coordinator in the National Football League, I sit there and look in the mirror and say, are we about to make this 7th-round draft pick look like Tom Brady and be the coaches and the players for the next 20 years that be talked about, who allowed this 7th-round draft pick to come and take this league by storm, and he became the second coming of Adam, which was Yeshua HaMashiach, which is some people call him Yahweh, which is Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm always of the mindset of being fair. That's it. I've never said that I wouldn't root for the Niners if Brock started. Never said that. I just felt that it did need to be an open competition. Did I know that it wasn't going to be one? Yeah, because I stated that. But at the end of the day, just don't put a narrative out there that you know is bullshit. Because you know what happens when that happens? People give Kyle credit. Oh, y'all don't understand. He's playing chess, not checkers, and all this other shit. You're not fooling anyone. Anybody with a brain in their head can know what the fuck you do and don't like and see where you're going. You didn't do anything spectacular or that much different than what you've done in years past. And the other thing that I'll touch on, and shout out to Andy, Trey Lance, whenever he does something, it is magnified times 50. Brock Purdy been throwing interceptions all camp long. Consistently, day in and day out. Oh, but for Brock, it's just practice. But if it's Trey Lance 5 minutes later, it's, oh my God, he can't do it. This guy is a bust. I've been telling you for years. The words coming from inside of the 49ers camp are this. So we do all of that.
Is this? Hello, Mr. Lombardi. What I'm hearing around the camp is that Trey Lance is looking horrible.
Horrible. It's bad.
Horrible.
Disgusting. It's bad. Like, what are we doing? So we can magnify Trey Lance's interceptions, but we don't magnify what Brock Purdy has done and his interceptions that he threw in camp. We don't magnify the fact that Sam Darnold, as my brother Twin so eloquently put it earlier, has given us 55 games of film to show us that he is not the guy. But magically, he's supposed to wake up in the Shanahan system, which is one of the most complicated systems, by the way. When you have 7 different ways to run one fucking play and then a mile-long fucking play call, that's a lot.
But Dion, he was throwing to DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey for the last 2 years. In Robbie Anderson, who is a deep threat. Those guys are horrible players to pass to, right?
No, yeah, they suck. They're nobodies. They're great. And then the other thing is, now that you brought that up, Trey hasn't played with all these weapons that we have. Name a game where Trey Lance has played with everybody. I'll wait. You know why? Because you can't. There wasn't always a George Kittle, Debo Ayuk, CMC, hell, at a bare minimum, even fucking Elijah Mitchell. Like, these guys didn't exist.
But Dion, that ain't even a thing, though. You cannot play like I play basketball and football.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot play with a player for one game, which is cool. But one thing about sports, man, it's rhythm and it's repetition. You even in practice, you gotta stack days. But not only in practice, there's a difference between the practice atmosphere and the real game atmosphere. Yep. It's the crowd. It's the whole tradition or the whole setup before the tip-off comes or before the kickoff happens. It's getting your body accustomed to all of those things. It's getting your routine down. It's getting the feel of the squad and who hypes up the teams or who's the quiet assassin. Like, all of these things matter where it's not just 1 week, 2 weeks, but once you get 3, 4, 5 weeks in the speed of the game where you got real life referees calling, you got real life defensive ends coming to get your head, bro, that's when you begin to understand that the game slowed down a little bit. You get to see real life pictures. You see what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I could tell you, hey, Dion never had chocolate before. I can sit and describe to him all types of chocolate, all I want to. But until he experienced that thing, oh, this is white chocolate. Oh, this is dark chocolate. Oh, this is just regular milk chocolate. He ain't go really grasp it until he really tastes it in real time. And that's for any player. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. For anybody, you need repetition. And so the young boy who has natural raw ability needs what? He needs time repetition on task. They call it TOT, time on task. He needs to be able to go out there and execute it on a consistent basis. That's why I even said this, not to be long-winded. This weekend we play against the Broncos, I believe Trey Lance should have the first start again. Give this man 2 starts in a row that he hasn't had.
Yep.
What, Trey, all you players, all the pundits say he needs repetitions, he's raw. How will it harm you if this guy get 2 back-to-back games in the preseason game? Because we know this is undoubtedly the number one thing that he needs is reps. Who cares if Sam Darnold get the 3rd game and he gets the 13 reps, or he can come in and allow your boy Brock to play the 1st quarter and he can finish playing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter. But allow this guy to have 2 real games that he can prepare for, go out there and play for. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. So really quickly, shout out my man Throwback. He was saying that this is what Steve Young said. He said, people say he can't throw swing passes. Come on, I think he's just in his head. Because he wants to be perfect, he's trying to win a spot that's not available. Let me explain something to you. Steve Young didn't do anything but tell the truth on that.
Hey, man. You watch basketball?
Right? Look, I'm telling you. Look,
You watch basketball?
yes.
Who your team?
Oh, I'm a Bulls fan. Always
All right,
been.
you're a
Always.
Bulls fan. But have you ever seen what's going on with the Warriors just for a quick second?
Oh yeah, yeah, always.
It's a guy by the name of Jonathan Kuminga, right?
Woo, that boy bad.
Uber talented. But you know what his issue is? His coach got a leash
Steve Kerr.
about as long as a centipede dingling.
Yep.
Listen here. That boy can go out there and every move he make, every mistake, he looking over there because Steve Kerr like this. We got a team that's ready to do what?
Win now.
Get your butt over here on the bench. He said, Coach. Only how he played consistently is when somebody got hurt and he got to play 5 games in a row, man. He got to know I'm coming off the bench at this time. I got the opportunity to mess up because ain't nobody behind me. And then you start to see his game flourish because he got confidence.
Yep.
He got to realize what he actually can do out there on the court. But then the moment he messed up, man, in the playoffs, you know what happened to him?
Yanked.
You know what killed them, though, in the playoffs? Young, athletic wing players that them old heads that they had is our old heads similar like the quarterback. Them old heads who couldn't turn up that next level.
Yep.
That's what happened.
It is. And see, what happens is when you have that just the number one thing that I loved about Jim Harbaugh was the faith that he showed in his players. For a man to every time before you actually step on the field, to tap your shoulder pad several times, give you a 1, 2, 1, 2, give you a double punch to the chest, tell you to go out there and get them. People do not understand how much weight that truthfully holds in the mind of a sports player that your coach believes that you are great. It is a big fucking deal, which is why it is still mind-boggling to me that Kyle Shanahan hasn't done that. And he doesn't. His daddy never did it. His dad was a hard ass the same way. You can ask any of the people who played for him, whether it be Shannon Sharp, Terrell Davis, anybody on the defenses that they had, even John Elway himself. They always would say one thing about Mike Shanahan. He's never satisfied. Nothing you ever done was good enough. And who do we hear that about now? His son, Kyle. Same shit. And my thing is, you're supposed to instill that confidence in the quarterback because when you do that, it makes them play better. You know what I would have done? I would have brought Trey in the room. I'd have said, hey, look, we're going to look at JT O'Sullivan's breakdown. I'm not even going to break down with you. I'm going to let you watch that. We're going to watch it together. All I want you to do is see what you missed. Let it fly, young man. It's all right. Pull the trigger. If it looks open, throw it. This is preseason. I don't give a fuck about the interceptions, the incompletions. I want to see consistent progression. Did you put it where you were supposed to? Even if it got picked off, it got tipped, whatever. Did you put it where you were supposed to? Yes, you did. All right, that's what I want to see. Then I know that you'll start to understand things. And what do 100% of NFL players talk about when they say, what's the transition from college to the NFL? The game is faster. I'm talking Usain Bolt fast in his prime. That's how fast the game is. But I'm going to go ahead and play this last clip. And I'm going to let you go first again, Twin, because I'm going to rip this dude an asshole like nobody has. This right here, unfortunately, is Mike Lombardi. And these are his thoughts on Trey Lance.
As you go down this road with Lance, it just becomes harder and harder and harder. And you could show all the clips of him moving and all that stuff. At the end of the day, when his mama lifted him from the crib, he just didn't have that quarterback instinct. He's not going to be the backup quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but there's no chance. There is no chance based on the evidence that I've seen and based on what I've heard.
Michael, I asked you this before we ended the Lombardi line yesterday.
Hey, my man's. Hey, brother, man law, brother to brother, you dropped the ball, you fumbled that one. Whoever you was, you ain't have our back. That's all I gotta say about you.
What did I just say earlier, people? What did I say earlier?
We don't have each other
At
back,
least
man.
at a bare minimum, support your people.
And look,
I
be trying to tell folk this. I even told TD this once before. Hey, man, you can go for Brock. You can vote for Brock. That's cool.
Yeah.
But my guy, you can't sit here and tell me when you look as a man and not see the difference in coverage of this young man. And y'all sit back there and be all quiet and tight-lipped, man. It's the reason why there's a documentary coming out with Randall Cunningham, Warren Moon, and Michael Vick. Y'all act like y'all done forgot, man, what the heck we had to go through. It's a reason why they sit there and try to transform Lamar Jackson to a god doggone what? A wide receiver. That went 25, 30 years ago, man. That was in 2019, man. We forget about those things. We forget about the young phenom that we call who? Pat Mahomes get on the microphone last summer when they weren't giving that boy Lamar Jackson his money, talking about, hey, the way that they look at us and analyze us is different. Believe me, I know that. Y'all go act like that boy ain't got on stage and say that. Then when somebody tell y'all that stuff, man, y'all get all quiet talking about, well, look at the quarterback. Nah, bro. If we can't sit here and defend ourselves and have each other back, not saying that, hey, bro can be good, but we can't sit there and act as if these boys are going through the same lenses, man. You can look at the writers, the beat writers, how they'll sit there and write two situations that are the same, but one be a lot more descriptive, a lot more negative, and a lot more nuance about the mistakes. But then you can sit there and see another writer or another article be what? It has, no, it's not a quarterback. It's the team did this, and the team just wasn't playing too good in the O-line. See how they would exchange words. One would be the quarterback did this and was improper, but next one would be, well, the team. And they do this all the time. Same thing last year when I told somebody, man, y'all, look, Matt, you know who, after the monsoon game was already talking about, well, Jimmy Garoppolo better, I think he should get ready by week 2 or 3 because he should be able to come in and start playing quarterback again. That's when Mike Martz got on the internet and said that nasty stuff about Trey Lance after one game in the monsoon. But the boy over there that we got a third, Sam Darnold, can get all these games. But I can't even get consecutive games, and y'all sit there and let these people do that stuff, man. And then y'all be the same one shutting the backs on us brothers, man. That's cold-blooded, that's dirty. If anybody should sit here and see the dysfunction, how these things are covered, is us. And I'm born from Mississippi. I don't even want to say nothing about this stuff. But then when I see other brothers out there sitting there seeing this crap, man, and seeing how we ain't got no diversity in the media, ain't no way Eric Crocker shouldn't be a god doggone member of the god doggone San Francisco 49ers. He should be a credential member. 75% of the league, probably my skin color and yours. But we got 98% of the god doggone coverage. The same color as this god doggone background.
Yeah.
And bro, I'm just keeping the buck, man. I can't sit there and do an interview with somebody who I know don't understand my culture and my plight. I'm gonna try to keep it as minute and small and tiny as possible.
Yeah, and see,
you're acting real funny though, man. I don't like that crap, man. A lot of y'all need to be called out to the rug, man.
And see, for me, this is what I would say,
tripping, man. I'm telling y'all know who y'all is. Y'all be out there tripping, man.
I'm gonna say this. You can go ahead and say whatever you want about me. People, I don't care. Cut from a different cloth. I'm an 80s baby. All right, so anything you say about me about to go right over my motherfucking head because I don't entertain ignorance. I don't have time for that. But what I am going to say is, if you ever in your life try to discount me like that, I'm going to find you. And we're going to have a conversation. And depending on the answers to the questions that I provide, is how that conversation gonna go. It's gonna be calm, quiet, cool, and we gonna collect ourselves and talk to each other like men. But if you fly off the handle and you get a little reckless with your mouth, I may have to smack the shit out of you. It's disrespectful as hell from this fat, pompous, punk motherfucker to get on any kind of social media and state when his mama picked him up out of the crib, there was no quarterback gene in him. Lombardi, the only thing you have is a great last name. Because just to go back to history, you picked Jamarcus Russell. I'm just going to throw that one out there. You did that. You don't have the most fantastic track record as a general manager. You're nowhere to be found. They don't even ask you to come on NFL fucking Network.
Hey, only GM need to be in front of his name when he read an email and that motherfucker say good morning.
Exactly.
Mr. Lombardi. That's the only GM he needs to see.
Thank you. And for me, the other thing, you would go that far to put somebody down, and to Twins' point, as a brother, you talking about, oh, well, he's just fighting to stay on the 53. So now you cowtailing to this shit? Come on, bro. Don't do that. That's my original point. We have to support each other at every chance we get. And Twin ain't lie about nothing that he fucking said because they look at us as black quarterbacks in a different light. Because what's the first thing you hear when you see a black quarterback come out? Oh, he's got great athleticism. They don't talk about his football IQ. They don't talk about his completion percentage. They don't talk about his touchdowns. The first fucking thing they think is you are athletic. You know the reason Lamar didn't run the fucking 40? He didn't do it on purpose, people, because he didn't want people to typecast him as a quarterback or a running back. And they tried to do the same thing to that man for years. And then we went out there and shitted on him and won a fucking MVP. Everybody had to shut the hell up. It just it irks my nerves. In the words of Peter Griffin, it grinds my gears.
Facts.
When you sit up there and had the balls to say that, yo, I can tell you right now, I don't care who you are. If I am playing a professional sport and you say something that reckless, I will find you. And once again, there's going to be a conversation. And the first time you see the whites of my eyeballs, it better be I'm fucking sorry. Because I'm going to bring my mama with me. We all know Trey Lance is mixed as mama white as daddy black. Doesn't make a fucking difference. But I can tell you right now, I guarantee you his mama wasn't okay with that. She's not cool with you talking this kind of shit about her son. So you're going to apologize to me and you're going to apologize to my mama. And if you decide that you want to say otherwise, I'm going to tell my mama turn around so she can't be a witness to a fucking crime. Because what I'm going to do to you and how I'm going to beat the shit out of you is going to put me in jail. You do not disrespect another person like that. And my number one thing is, Kyle, you heard this shit. Back your boy up, man. Come to the podium and say, hey, look, I may not really like the media. I really don't care for a lot of you people in here. But what I am going to tell you is, don't you ever disrespect any of my players like that. Even if you don't want to be singular about it, you want to make it a plural thing, you can at least address it and say, do not ever disrespect any of my players like that again. That is not okay. That's not cool. I do not condone it. And and there will be repercussions. You cannot sit up there and act like that's the cool thing to do because it's not. Ain't nobody out here ever said anything wild as that. And this man just gets, and then you just automatically go, well, we were just saying he was going to fight for the 53. As a black man, the first thing you should have said was you need to watch your fucking mouth on my program. Do not ever mention anybody's mother. But no, you don't check them. You just let the shit ride. What the fuck is wrong with you?
His mama,
I can tell you right now, R. Kelly did some horrible, disgusting, nasty shit. He is in jail. He deserves to be there. But I can tell you another thing. R. Kelly is a ridiculously talented musician. All of y'all, before y'all knew R. Kelly was talking about little girls, guarantee you played 12 play at least once. And guaranteed you done fucked off of it at least once or twice. Maybe even TP2. So don't act like people who do fucked up things don't have a great thing. And I'm not in any way trying to put R. Kelly on a pedestal or saying that I condone what he did. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you a fact. People was bumping the shit out of his music before they knew he was fucking little girls. They knew it. Once they knew it, everybody stopped. But before then, they knew what he was doing. It kills me at the fact that you can denigrate a young man who's done nothing. Trey Lance don't get in trouble. You ain't never seen no off the field bullshit from him. The only thing you ever saw was Trey Lance in the strip club. Trey Lance is in his early fucking 20s. I dare any of those people in their early 20s to say they didn't go to a strip club. Because you Trey Lance, you got caught throwing some dollars. Who the fuck is it? Nigga, if you want to go fuck up some commas in the strip club, go right the fuck ahead. As long as your black ass is back there for practice and to be able to play on Sundays, I don't care. There are people that go to Magic. I've heard this. I've heard this. Too many people. Man. The wings in Magic City are fucking fire. That's what I've heard. So do you know who's? And you know I heard that from a lot of just regular people that I know. I even saw it on I Am Athlete with Pac-Man Jones. He said literally, sometimes I didn't even go to the strip club to go watch the strippers. I went to get some fucking wings. Because the wings are actually good. But the issue is you are not in any way supposed to shoot down that young man like that with that kind of hatred and anger. And it's supposed to be okay. At a bare minimum, you definitely couldn't do that with me. I'm not playing. I'm there. And I can tell you right now, my mother is all of 5'3", but she is a 5'3" hell on wheels when you fuck with her child. She ain't playing about that. So if that had been me in that situation, I probably would have had to leave my mom at home. She probably would have smacked shit out of him herself. Just immediately when she saw the whites of his eyeballs. You remember that? It's on site? There it is.
Ain't nothing but space and opportunity, man.
Space and fucking opportunity. You're going to have the nerve to come and say this man was picked up out of you. Come the fuck on. You didn't. And the number one thing that I don't like when people are overly criticizing him, do y'all even understand this young man's story, his journey in football? His dream was to play for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. You know why? That's where the fuck he's from. And you know what they offered him? A scholarship as a linebacker. They didn't even believe in that man to play head coach. To play quarterback. So what did he do? He went to NDSU. And he shitted on the competition. I don't care if it's less than competition.
Hey,
At the end of the day,
no. Hey, you know what the competition was, though?
What was it, Easton Stick, I think? Who?
A guy from Iowa State, the quarterback that they had from Iowa State, the starter. He got beat out by somebody by the name of Brock Purdy. And so he thought he can go to NSDCU, well, I ain't gonna mess it up, but you know, he thought he went to the Bison. He thought he could be able to play because there was gonna be a rookie playing.
Yeah.
Then he ended up getting beat out by Trey. And Trey ended up taking the position. So that's a fun little nugget for y'all if y'all didn't know. The guy who played at Iowa State lost the situation, left there, went to over there where Trey was. Trey ended up beating him out. And so this could be a wonderful omen or turnaround where, you know, the Iowa State situation happens of the inverse way, you know what I'm saying? But there's a little nugget for y'all if y'all ain't know that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and see, for me, I'm going to say this. Even after doing a little bit of a recap of the game, at the end of the day, I said it before, I said it again. It was a 50-50 thing for me, maybe even a little 60-40, but we had bad O-line play along with an indecisive Trey Lance. And I get it. It happens. But that does not mean that you get to go out there and talk about this young man like he's just the garbage pail of the NFL. There are so many people out there that are horrible at their job and still have them. And you know the funny thing, going right back to what Twin said about how black quarterbacks are perceived. Y'all remember a quarterback by the name of Mitchell Trubisky? He wasn't shit in North Carolina. He was trash. He was hot garbage. The only good thing that came out of North Carolina, football, not basketball, because they produce some greats in basketball. But football was Julius Peppers. And Julius Peppers was a monster off that edge. If you don't know, by all means, please look him up. Peppers was a destroyer of offensive linemen. It was not even fair sometimes when you saw it. But the thing is you have to give that kid time to develop and progress. What happened with Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan was not always the Michael Jordan that we know and love. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. Michael Jordan didn't become MJ until he really until he got to North Carolina. That's when he started to become MJ. And then it took him a couple of years in the league to be able to get right, get a hold of the team, and do the things he needs to do. Why? Because he was facing the bad boy Pistons in the East.
Hey, but not only that, though, we'll take it more current so some of these folks might be a little young.
Yeah, go ahead.
By a guy named Stephen Curry. I'm a Warriors fan anyway. That man was injured early on in his career. He didn't play for a Division I school. I mean, he played for Davidson, small town school. Nobody really know. You know what I'm saying?
Steve-O, I'm saying for this one, bro.
Nah, man, I'm older than Harden, man. I've been growing a beard before Harden was even growing a mustache. But it's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? But, that boy Stephen Curry had them little wobbly ankles. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't stay right. He couldn't get enough time on task. He couldn't get enough repeated games to play to show his real talent, to gain the confidence that he needed to really show people that I belong here. You see what I'm saying? But he had a coach by the name of Mark Jackson, looked at that man and said at a young age, early in his career, like, hey, man,
I got you can be that
something in you. I see something in you. Now you can't, look, your ankle about as weak as wet tissue paper in the toilet. But, bro, once we tighten that up,
you
got some skill, you got some talent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let you go out there and play. But another thing is, even though one coach instilled confidence in him, he got shipped out of there. Yeah. But there's one thing I will say about Steve Kerr. I'll make it quick. Steve Kerr did this. Instead of running, because Greg Popovich runs a really tight offense in the San Antonio Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
But one coach told him, hey, man, if you go take on this boy Steph Curry, you're going to have to loosen up the range a little bit. You can't be so tight on him because there's a natural ability that is inside of this man that is hard for me to put my finger on it, but you might have to live with some mistakes. You might have to sit there and cover your face a couple times, but he got a skill set and ability to do something for certain times that it's going to blow your mind. And he going to work beyond your offense. He going to do something that supersede your play and your scheme. But if you trust him, give him confidence, and put the pieces around him, you might have a generational player. Hey, man, what happened to him? What he's known as now?
Best shooter in the game. Hey, and on that note, we're going to get up out of here.
For sure.
But what I want people to understand is the reason that I talk about these things is because it needs to be talked about. See, what will happen is other content creators, and there's no disrespect to anyone out there, they'll touch on this for like 5 seconds and then move on. I figured I would dedicate a show to it because it's just unruly that this young man has barely even played any football games. And then in the time that he was playing, he didn't look too bad. But now basically in the preseason game, he's in a backup quarterback fight with Sam Darnold, someone who doesn't even know the playbook. So you're telling me, oh, yeah, there's a backup competition. There's a competition, but just for backup. You couldn't just say that? There's a competition for the backup quarterback spot between Trey Lance and Sam Darnold. I still don't understand why Sam Darnold even gets that kind of a pass or that kind of respect. But I can tell you this. If I'm Trey Lance, I'm looking at coach going, that's my spot, right? You say whatever the fuck you want to the world, but in this building, at a bare minimum, I'm QB number 2.
It's right here. It's right here.
Right, this shit right here. Like this shit right here, nigga, this shit called death. Why? When you smoke, you can't hear shit. So I have no idea why on God's green earth this keeps happening to this young man or what he did to people. But at the end of the day, people, y'all need to stop. Like the hate on this young man is ridiculous. You know, at this point, I'm about to start saying Trey was fucking everybody's wife.
Oh God,
He was
Hey,
piping your woman down like nobody's business. You know what happened? Trey is that guy. Y'all went to a swingers party, and y'all put y'all keys in a little bowl, and you got freaky and nasty. Trey's that guy that pulled out that monster pause and took your wife to Pound Town like you never thought of taking her there. And now she wants to continually go to the swingers parties because you ain't doing what he just did.
my man
That's
said,
the vibe I'm getting because y'all, you
Man,
motherfuckers out here upset.
Hey, my man Dion said Trey Lance, Adam 22. He got my man. Look, some of these dudes Adam 22, and my Trey Lance with my man's over there.
Bro, he out there doing the damn thing. I've never seen somebody piss off so many people that easily and that
Bro.
quickly.
And I'll say this, man. I know you're wrapping up, but first and foremost, man, I appreciate everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Whether you Steve-O, Flow Right Plumbing.
Make sure to let everybody know where they can find you too.
What up, Steve-O, Manly Shavers, my boy Terradome, 49's Throwback, and so on and so forth. All those individuals who spent some time with us on tonight. Appreciate you guys for coming in and tuning in. It's your boy Twin with 2 N's. Y'all already know what it is. I'm your favorite brother from another mother, and I got a beard like none other. You can find your boy on Twin Empire _ on YouTube. Make sure you follow, subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the notification button. Go through, look at some of my old work, man. Comment, like some of the videos. Man, we about to get it on and popping this year. I'm so excited. Football is truly here. One thing I say, last thing about this quarterback situation, let's make sure we keep everything even when it comes to our criticism of these quarterbacks. I don't care if Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, or Brock Purdy. I don't need y'all to be hell raisers when you see Trey Lance throw an interception or almost interception in a preseason game, but then be quiet, be very dismissive, be very mute when you see somebody throwing consecutive pick sixes in a practice as well. So if it's okay for them to do that in practice, it's okay to do it in preseason because last time I checked, neither one of these games count. So keep that same energy when you guys are evaluating these individuals. And that's all I say again. Oh, yeah, and also appreciate my boy 90 Game Podcast, a.k.a. Mr. Dion, without the neon. But y'all make sure y'all follow my boy, like, subscribe to his channel as well, man. Let's continue to support. Hey, we got a game this Saturday, man. Let's get it on. Let's get it popping. Let's do this thing, baby. Bang, bang, 90 Game. Stay faithful to the end, baby. Red and gold to the body, blue and cold. You already know what it is. Super Bowl, that's the goal, baby.
There it is, man. Hey, it ain't been said better than that. And thank y'all for everybody that supported me, man. I had this channel for a while, and I'm what I call a slow grower on this channel. Pause. I just got to 500. I just got to 500 subs, so I appreciate any and everybody.
My God.
Definitely tell everybody to, tell a friend to tell a friend. Continue to spread the word. I'm out there. I keep it a buck. I don't do that sugarcoat shit. I'm not one of those nice, calm people. I'm not docile towards the players or the franchise or the coaches. Nobody is above reproach, and any damn body can get it. If you fuck up, I'm gonna call it out. I called out Trey Lance. I told that's exactly what I said. Said the man had some indecisiveness. He did. And then there was some shitty ass O-line play too. So it's a combination of those two things just makes for a disaster of a football game. But either way, man, I thank everybody for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Twin, for coming through and hanging out with your boy. And, always remember, when you want to keep it real and keep it a buck, you need to come get with me. You need to come get with my guy, Twin. Shout out to Real Talk, Niner Talk. Those are my guys over there. But I'm always keep it real with you. I'm always touch on the subjects that need to be touched on. Probably do a preview show for the game on like Friday night, maybe even Saturday morning. But hey, we play the Broncos at a bare minimum. Thank you. I appreciate that, Brian. At a bare minimum, what we need to be doing is taking out our frustrations on them. Kick their teeth in as much as you can. If Kyle gives Trey the next start, if I'm Trey, I'm letting it all fly. I want to throw 4 touchdowns in the first fucking quarter and walk to the sideline and look at him like, yeah, you starting this motherfucker?
No. Y'all look at me like, you like that?
Man, yeah, I'm going to slap you with a Kirk Cousins. There you go, my guy. There it is. Walk right past Kyle. You like that?
King Petty. I'll make sure the camera can hear and
Petty.
look at the camera and be like,
Call me Petty Pendergrass, baby.
you like that, huh, Kyle?
Yes,
And then
sir.
I'll be in the doghouse forever, but he gonna hear that. He gonna get that. Oh my God.
Yeah, I did hear them say this too, real quick. CJ4. Yeah, Kyle said he was trying to figure it out, but I'm pretty sure they will rotate it and most likely go with Sam. That's fine. It doesn't make a difference. But at the end of the day, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm blessed and fortunate to have all of you guys to watch me. Appreciate everybody. Y'all be blessed. Stay faithful. Stay up. And we out. Peace.